And I think we're live. Good evening, folks. Another Airfix and Chill from the workbenches of myself. We've got Tam from Kits and Bits. Nice to see you, my friends, for joining us.
All right. Well, most welcome.
How's your throat?
It feels like somebody's grated it with a cheese grater.
Oof. Wow.
Other than that, it's fine.
You've had it for a few days now, haven't you?
I've had it for, this is the 8th day in a row now. So, as you can imagine, I am thoroughly bored of it.
Yeah, I bet you are. And also, we've got Captain VFC. Hiya, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm not too bad. I have a bit of a cold, but not as bad as cheese grated throat.
I see on the bench there you've got that Revel train. Now, does that go on an OOoooo gauge track, or is it too big?
HO gauge, so the same track but European scale.
Okay.
It does come with a piece of track.
Does it really?
Yeah, I broke it.
So
it's
not OOoooo gauge then, it's just Ho gauge.
It is Ho gauge, yes.
Right, okay. Well, I get confused because when I was growing up, it was OOoooo gauge, OOHO. And then you had OOoooo gauge, which was a bit bigger. Then you had Ho gauge, which was apparently bigger again. And then you had OOoooo gauge, which was them combined. And that's the one that Hornby seemed to go for.
Would you like the boring bit of history as to why it exists? Or shall we just...
Go on then, tell me.
Basically, HO gauge is 187th. Oh, I've just broken it. Never mind, we'll ignore that. HO gauge is the correct scale for the gauge of track, 16.5 millimeters. Hornby were not able, and the like in the UK, were not able to make models that were good enough to work at that size, but for the sake of continuity, they kept the track. So they kept a slightly narrower track and then beefed up the size of the actual locomotive itself to be able to fit motors in that were reliable enough, just because of the fidelity needed to do HO. So some weird bastardization was created, which is OOoooo.
Right, fair enough.
Well, there you go. 76 scale though, OOoooo, or 72nd. I can never remember which.
76.
76. Why don't they just call it 76 then, rather than OOoooo, which is
because it's half of O gauge, so they added an O. There's logic somewhere, but not how I would see logic.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I reckon so. There's always method in the madness. That's what I always say. There's always method in the madness. Got a few in the chat so far. We've got Ferris Hunter, nice to see you. Sandy Floss, Jack Hobby Station, Erwin Nosing, nice to see you, my friend. Sprue and Glue, hi, my friend. How are you, Dave? And then we got Jeff Light, nice to see you too. So at the moment, let's talk about workbenches, shall we? At the moment, I'm working on this starter set. I was kind of challenged by a guy called Josh on TikTok, and he started building it, and now I think he failed on it or something wasn't quite right. So I bought one off eBay without the paint. So I got it for about 15 quid, but these are about 25 nicker. These are quite expensive actually.
What?
For quite an old tooling as well, and it's not the best tooling, but it's a fun little build. No matter what you say, it's a fun little build. And so but I've gone a bit off piste with it a little bit because I think I like metallic reds, and I haven't built a model with metallic reds for I don't know how long, and I've got some LP46 in the stash, pure metallic red from Tamiya, mix it up with a little bit of Tamiya lacquer thinner, and I've sprayed it. I'll just add Xander to the stream. So basically it's come up really, really nice. Give it a lovely wet coat after. It will need a gloss after when I've done the decals. I might give it a quick gloss over, nothing too drastic. But I think that colour looks really nice for the car, and it does glimmer a little bit, being a metallic red. And I've got to say, these Tamiya lacquers just go down just so bloody well. It's become part of my thing now to jump straight to the Tamiya's lacquer paints just to get as much done as I can. The seats in this are just fucking awful. You know, it looks like they should be on the Starship Enterprise. You know, the old series. Look at that. You know, but they're supposed to be all silver, but I've painted or sprayed after I'd done it. I went back over and masking taped up all the silver right and just sprayed them brown, just to give them a little bit of difference. But yeah, it's a starter set, so I'm not there's nothing too fancy on this. It's just basically a spray and build for Josh on TikTok. So he's been watching me, so hopefully it will encourage him to get back on it and do his own version of it. And you know, but don't get me wrong, I sprayed it up a bit bad, and I got quite a huge blemish on the. Well, basically I dropped it. And as I dropped it, as I was spraying the last bit, they've got a blemish here. So I put this in Detto. I left it overnight, and it just came off. The paint just came off, which was good. So then I resprayed it again, primed it and resprayed it.
As per your YouTube short, check them out.
Yeah, that Detto is good stuff, you know, and it's not bad, is it? It's not. You know, people use brake cleaner, don't they? Or not brake cleaner, brake fluid.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I've never actually used it or tried it myself. I've seen a few videos on YouTube, and it seems fairly it seems to work fairly well, but it seems quite an expensive way of doing it because Dettol's a lot cheaper than brake fluid. So
exactly, yeah, and also you know, it's protecting that plastic as well, and that's the worst thing. You know, I've heard people stripping stuff with certain paints. And then, you know, you forget it's been in the pot for 2 or 3 days. When you come back, there's no plastic left either. Do you know what I mean? So
I've got a 48 Spitfire that's now been sat in a pot of Dettol for about 8 months. I just keep forgetting to take it out and clean it. Just sat there.
Yeah, just sat there.
Sat there.
Not an issue. So what are you working on then, Tam?
I'm working on the 72nd Airfix Hawk 100. This was one of the many Hawks that I got in the Airfix mystery bundles. I think I've 4 of them so far.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
So I thought I'd get one done because they're just sat there, and I keep looking at the shelf and I'm seeing so many Hawks, and I'm like, I don't even like Hawks. Oh, now I've got 4 of them. What am I going to do with them? So
I'll send you my address. I could do with a trio of Hawks.
Yeah, I have one. I mean, 2 of the ones I've got with the Airfix Club ones, and they're just like, well, they're exactly the same as those ones. So
I'm about to join the Airfix Club, so actually I probably shouldn't.
Don't do it yet. Don't join the club yet. You want to join it in February when they bring out the new kit.
I kind of want Hawks, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I also have plenty of saved up flying hours.
Could I just ask you, Tam, is that a pair of Citadel nips there?
Sprue Cutters, yes, there is. They're not great. They're kind of, I got these after they were first launched, the new ones. So probably about 2017, maybe 2016.
Yeah.
And they're a bit soft, to be honest.
I'm going to tell you something. I think they are a pile of wank.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
I did a video. I did a video on it. On what's it called? Sprue Cutters. And the problem I've got is that they're slippery. They open up too wide. So when you pick them up, you've got to flip and twist and get them into position.
Yeah.
You know, so they're quite a tough thing to get hold of. They're slippery. And also, when you pick these up, they fit just lovely in your hand. So they're there, snap, you're done. These ones, you can be there, and as you pull, they slip here.
Yeah.
As you pull, so they're just so, and you know, you could put rubber bands on them, but I think this is the most expensive pair of Sprue Cutters I've ever bought around. I know there's some Godhand ones. I think I paid nigh on 25, 26 quid for these.
Really? I think I paid something like 18 for them when they first came out.
And the most expensive, 18 quid, were they?
And I soon found out that my biggest problem with them is that the actual nips are so bloody thin that they've got dents in them. Yeah. If you can see on there, they've got dents, you know, like you would get on a sword from fighting, you get the little dents and stuff. They've got dents on there because they're too thin to actually do what they need to do.
I have a pair of Tamiya ones like that.
My Tamiya ones are brilliant, but my favourite ones are these Volcam ones. Once I get to the camera there, these are Volcam ones. I get these off Amazon. They're 30 quid, but they were on a deal as well. But these are absolutely fantastic, and I use these all the time now, and they're just like God hands. But like I said, only 30 quid, 29 quid. And I got a free set which I sent to Ethan at Airfix for just to thank him for showing me around Airfix that day. But yeah, I'm chuffed to bits with these. These are absolutely incredible. These ones. But honestly, I even when I did my review of my box, I did that 1 minute, explaining my top box in 1 minute. I pointed to these and said, "Don't buy these. These are utter shit," because I don't like them at all. In fact, I may even put them on eBay and try and sell them. But to be fair, they're double-ended. Sorry, they're not single-edged, are they? They're double-edged, these ones as well. So if you want to get in close, they do have a use. But I think the design, they're slippery. There's no grip on them at all. They shine to a buff. They shine too much to a buff. Absolute pain in the ass using them. Pain in the ass.
I mean, they're certainly not what I expected them to be, and they're certainly not what Citadel hyped them up to be as well. So I think games, and a lot of people who do the Games Workshop stuff have said more or less exactly the same as well. So
yeah, I think Games Workshop won't be around in 5 years.
Well, I mean, they've gone in a different direction since they've taken over, and it's arguable whether it's a better direction. Andy would be able to tell you more on that because she used to date the son of the founder, so she can give you more info on that. But I mean, I don't know much about it.
No, that's fair enough. So, Captain, what are you working on this train?
I currently have this Revell BR 130/230 Ludmilla. This was given to me, 16, 17 years ago. For free by my uncle, who decided he was never going to make it, and excited by the prospect of making something completely different, I started it. As you can see, I never really completed it.
It's going well.
It has. I'll sort of do a bit of it, and then I left it, and then another bit of it. And about a month ago, I went, you know what, sod it, and I resprayed the whole thing. It doesn't look very good, but I still did it. And I just thought I'd finish it, get it out of the way, get the box discarded. So that is what I'm working on this stream, and it is really just a get rid of this kit kind of moment. I'm fed up with it. It's been sitting on my desk or in a box for years, and I'm done with it.
Oh, so what are you going to do with it once you've done with it? That's the question, isn't it?
Either put it on my desk or put it in a box.
That's it. I put my models are going up to the local library just because we've got some space now in one of the cupboards because one of the members had a hissy fit and buggered off and took his models with him. So we're now trying to fill up the space in that. Yeah. So anyway, we've got Xander in the chat. Hi, Xander. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm
good. Thank you.
So what are you working on?
The Bristol Beaufort.
Ah.
Oh.
With enamel paints.
Only thing I can do.
Yeah. You're not into airbrushing then, or I know you've got so much enamel paint. You want to use it up first, don't you?
Yeah. And I don't have an airbrush, so
yeah,
not quite willing to invest in one yet.
You will do. You will do. I've got so many airbrushes, and I'll still stick with the Infinity from Harder and Steenbeck. I just can't. I think the trouble with Iwata is, I tell you, I don't know whether you're the same, Pam, or not, with airbrushing. I'm not a fan of the little, what's it called at the end? The little, okay, what's it called now? What's this? Let me take it off. This piece here, not this bit, but the inside where the needle goes through. What's it called again? I've just added it to my tongue then. The O. But on the Harder and Steenbeck, this bit here all comes apart with one twist.
Yeah.
But on the Iwata, it's such a tiny thread that keeps that piece in there. What's it called again? Nozzle. That's it. Nozzle. That's the word. Nozzle. Just that. It's just, and you have to use a spanner to get it out. and I've seen people not paying attention, doing up that little nozzle, and then bang, they've broken the thread or they snapped it inside.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
the
I've done
Hardcastle
that myself.
Yeah,
but I mean, reamers are cheap enough to get on eBay. I got one, I think, for about £1.50, and I just, you know, you put it in and you twist it, and it pulls the broken bit out. So I mean, I'm with you on that one. It is much easier to clean and disassemble, but I mean, it's only a problem if you make it into a problem, really.
Yeah, as I said, I just found it easier to clean and play with, with the harder and steam back than I did with iWater. I have got a Neo by iWater somewhere, but once I went onto the harder and steam back Ultra, which was this one that I got, I never looked back. And then the Evolution, but then I sold the Evolution to buy the Infinity, and what I should have done was sold the Ultra to get the Infinity. Do you know what I mean? It kept the Evolution back, and having Evolution as a 0.4 for big jobs, because I've got, I'm running a 0.2 in my Infinity, and I'm running a 0.3 in my Ultra, when really I should be running a 0.4 for an Evolution. That's what I should have done, really. So, but we learn these things, don't we? Is Sully? Sully's popping in and out. Have you got it sorted now, Sully? Is your camera a bit skew? Is it? I can hear you, Sully.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Oh, that's good. I can hear you, Sully. You're all right, my friend.
Internet technical difficulties, as always.
Oh, yeah. Is that because you're top north, mate? That's what it is. You're top north.
No, I'm
Not farther
middle.
than me.
Midlands,
I
middle.
mean, he's not quite north.
Not
He's about approximately east of where I am.
If it's north of Watford, it's north.
So what are you working on at the moment then, Sully? What's on your bench?
I'm on number 2 chippy.
Okay.
I've done one. Did you see the ones I sent in the group?
Yes, I did. I got you
one.
on a big screen now. Look at that. So that's going to be deserted plain, isn't it? That's going to be like found in a field, left to rot sort of plain, isn't it?
Yeah. So what the problem I had with this when I bought this one, because the way they build the canopy, if you can put on the canopy, all right, it's in 3 different parts. So you've got the 2 sort of like 2 side windows and the top.
Yeah.
Which the back bit there had been crushed and split. So I was like, what the hell am I going to do with that? Because it's the only thing I have an issue with this kit. It's not very well supported for that, just in case it gets squished.
Yeah.
So originally what I was going to do is still this sort of idea, but not probably as far gone as I've done it. And I was going to make a tarpaulin to go over the top of it to cover that crack in the glass.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know where you can see it. It's that little notch there.
Oh,
it's not too bad actually. It's you can't notice it. It looked worse until after I painted it. I'm like, actually, it's all right. But then I thought, right, I'm gonna have a backup plan because I'm not sure how well this tarpaulin is going to work out because I've not really done it very well before.
Yeah.
So I thought, what about a full abandoned one, sort of thing? So the crack that's there makes it actually looks more natural. And the more I thought about it, the more I actually enjoyed the idea. So I thought, that's what I'm going for.
Fair enough.
So I'm really heavy.
Go on.
And basically what's going to happen is when I've done this second one, I'm going to kind of do, they're going to both be together. And basically, obviously this is the sort of forgotten one being left in the field, back of a hanger or something for a few years. And somebody's picked it up, restored it, and because I'm actually going to do it in the because I actually quite like the scheme. Where is it? That one. So the navy scheme, because I quite like that pattern. So basically, that will be this one will be the restored version of that one. That's my story.
Fair enough. Was it LPJ Models uses that stuff he puts on paper to make it look like a tarpaulin, doesn't he?
Well, what I was going to do is because I wanted to try, because an absolute shed load of green stuff, and what I wanted to do was roll. I've seen you can do if you use talcum powder, you can roll it out really, really, really thin, And I thought that would do. And I want something I want to do for a bit, but I haven't got any tel computer. So this idea come out more. So did you see my little bird's nest I put in? I don't know where you're going to see that. I'd even put a couple of eggs in.
Look at that's brilliant.
Just for giggles, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about.
I mean, I've still got. That turned out really well. All that was is some seagrass, some sand and gravel fixer, and I just slopped it all in. It worked out all right. The eggs are just sort of 2 little pieces of green mini put, painted a sort of white colour. I've still got to put the propeller blade on because I was supposed to work on both of these at the same time, and that just advanced a lot quicker. So I've still got to do the blades for that one. So I'll do it when I paint the one up for.
What kit is it again? What manufacturer is it? That kit?
You're purposely doing this to me, aren't you? To make me say it's Airfix.
I don't do Airfix.
Don't do Airfix. Don't do it. Do you know what makes it worse? I'm working at the same time. I'm working. I've got this just for a customer. I'm struggling with it a little bit. Because the Airfix is a B17 Lancaster, which has been a bit of a pain in the arse. It's mostly fitted all right. The fuselage wasn't too bad. There's a lot still to clean up on it though, especially these little. So I try to put a bit of filler in there, and I'm struggling a little bit trying to get that looking good. I think it was that side was slightly warped, but once it went in, that's because the Bombay actually straightened it out, so that wasn't a problem. But there was still a bit of a gap there. Now, no matter how many, I dry fitted it, and it fitted perfectly about 4 times. But then I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, it just went a bit skew. And the wings, particularly this one, even though it fits very well here, as it tapers up to the edge, the top overhangs the back, and the back overlips the front. So, but it's a nice kit. It's don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's just been a bit of a soul killer for me at the moment.
Yeah, I can get that, mate.
I want to get it done before we move as well.
Yeah,
and that's the problem because that's approaching quickly.
Dominic's just put in the chat. It was 2, 4, and 6. You're right. I just looked at my Ultra now. I've got a 2 in it actually. It's a 2. I thought I counted a 4 in this one, a 3 in this one. But that must have been my mistake then.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm getting to you in a minute, Nomad.
No worry. I just wanted to make sure it was all right.
Yeah, all good.
We always
it's a 2. Yeah, the 2 notches in this one. I thought it was a 4 in this one, but it just shows you I've not used the Ultra for such a long time now. It's definitely a 2 in this Ultra. I thought it was a 4, or I thought it was a 3 or a 4. There's definitely a 2 in that one. So, but yeah, I haven't used this one for ages. As I said, I should have sold that one and got the Evolution. But hey, Paul, how's it going? All right? Nomad, you there?
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Paying attention. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
You're doing the Boeing 787, is it?
Yeah, 787, and I've got
Revel.
the 67 right there.
Look at that. Way.
So this thing is
it's big, isn't it?
It's fucking massive. This is 1 to 144.
Yeah. What was the other one you showed me the other night? Was it 737 that you did?
67. It was a 67.
It was tiny compared against it, though, wasn't it?
Well, it's right there.
So I mean, it looks tiny, doesn't it?
It's way smaller. The wingspan is much smaller. The wing length is the width is much smaller. The fuselage. I honestly thought that the 787 was much smaller than the 67.
Yeah.
And and I heard I think it was Sully talking about a mojo killer. You want a real mojo killer?
Go on then. It's not an Airfix Ford GT, is it?
This bullshit.
What's that?
What headphones? They're all right.
Wait, give me a second. Stupid camera. It's the Meg Renault FT.
What make is that?
Meng.
Meng, yeah.
The thing is that my masking putty stick to it, and it's not going away. I have no idea how to get it off.
Really?
Camouflaging it is a pain in the ass. The
Yeah.
kit itself is super good. It's just painting it is.
I
Awful.
really want to do that one. Is that the one with the
That's-
base or just the kit? On
Yes,
its own?
it comes with a diorama.
Yeah, I really want to do that one.
It's
Good
a
luck with that
very
one
good
for what?
kit. Like it even has working suspensions.
Yeah,
Wow,
I think
look
me
at
put
that.
a lot of effort in the kit, you know, because I did the DR9 dozer and that was amazing. I didn't even have to buy
Yeah.
any sort of
I did,
photo extra stuff for that.
I did the jumbo, the Sherman jumbo. That's right there.
Mm.
This babe.
Wow. That's killer, isn't it? Look at that.
And for the tarp, this is just aluminum that has been pressed into place.
Yeah.
But for tarps, my actual advice is to just take some Kleenex, water down PVA glue, and you press it into place.
Yeah, that's what I usually use that. Or baby wipes. Baby wipes are really good
Yeah.
because they've got a bit of texture and they're quite good for more blankets. Really, actually, I've used them before.
Well, it's just it's what James did in LPJ models with that Star Wars
Yeah.
two-legged thing. What's it called now?
AT-AT, is it? Is it AT-AT? I don't do
AT-AT,
Star
yeah.
Wars. Star Wars is shit.
And he done a really good job with that tarpaulin go with the top. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's a nice tank there. Anyway, it's all right.
All this is resin.
Yeah.
This is one single resin piece, and I love it.
That's just all resin, is it?
Yeah.
See, I think that's the next thing for us now, isn't it? It's all to get the Humbro resin printers, and let's just all make our own parts for it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what lots of people do.
Yeah.
Like Andy Hobby Headquarters, for example.
That's it, yeah.
Are you guys are
Yeah, I've done a Sherman with some resin. Because we did it, I think it was about nearly the same time, didn't we? So I'll try moving my camera around because it's a bit because I'm doing it on my phone, so it's a bit off.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, all that across the back, or any stowage on there is all resin. On that
What
one.
kit is this?
The tank itself's Tamiya, but I've forgotten for the life of me whose that was.
Value Gear?
No, it's escaping me.
Yeah.
Who?
Value Gear? Usually they're
No,
the
it
ones
wasn't
that
No, I can't remember.
Panzer Ace? No, Panzer Art, I believe. But
No, it
my
wasn't
resin
that,
is from Panzer Art.
If I wasn't using my phone to refilm this on, I'd have could have looked it up and told you it was.
Yeah.
I haven't got the box anymore.
Have you got an
remember
iPhone? Have you? Have you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you got it on portrait lock, have you on your phone?
I don't think so.
If you take off
I
portrait
don't know.
lock and then turn it and then join the chat when it's already in landscape mode, that seems to work a bit better.
To be fair, you can see what I'm doing there. So
Yeah, I can see what you're doing. That's fine.
I'll try and sort it out for next. I'll try and sort it out for next
That's
time.
fine.
It shouldn't have, but
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
But just in the chat, Dan's arrived, Jeff's here, Joanne's here, Celtic West is here, all right, Celtic West. Jeff, I've already mentioned him, to Boldly Go, and others have all joined the chat. Joanne said, sorry I wasn't online on Friday, Tam, so he must have been a bit busy for you.
That's all right. I wasn't online Friday either because I was too busy dying. Yeah.
Anyway, Tamiya, lads.
Yeah,
Tamiya. What's your thoughts on a new release then? This new Lightning that they've got out.
I'm very scared. I am very scared.
You're scared, are you?
Because Italy just got an F-35B out, and the F-35B externally resembles the A, with some minor exceptions. Yeah. And I feel like Tamiya and Italy are very good friends. So I feel like Tamiya is just going to take the F-35B and turn it into an A. That's my feeling.
Okay.
But I hope it's a completely new tool.
They're claiming it is a new tool, but I'm more thinking about if they're so close together, they must have known which one was doing what, because it can't take too much to retrofit a kit to make it an A or a B or a C. Surely it's just that fan and less tank, isn't it? Really.
Well, the C variant has much larger wings and it's made to take off from a aircraft carrier, so it has much larger wings, bigger carriage. I think a bigger elevator. The stabilizers are different. The C is very different, but the A and the B are very similar outside, at least.
Yeah. Comes with, is it 7 or 9 different schemes, and I put it up on Twitter, and one person said, or where's the UK RAF? And well, we don't have the A's in the UK RAF, like, do we? You know what I mean? So why would they have the decal scheme for a plane we don't have?
We're getting them in Canada.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
In 2025, we're going to receive our first F-35s.
Yeah. But,
if you're lucky, they'll break like ours did.
What?
I says if you're lucky, yours will break like ours did.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I can't understand anything. It's fine. Sorry, my microphone's dog shit. My headphones can be dog shit sometimes. It's really on my part.
He said that they might break at the same time as ours did.
Oh, are they already broken down?
No, we was having issues with them from the start.
Huh.
One of the biggest problems was the software because the Americans were struggling to
down more kind to the sea, really.
Do what?
I second that. What?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Can I turn
I
that?
know my internet's bad.
Translation into human?
Yeah.
No, we was having issues with the headset and stuff, and the software, and the Americans weren't letting us use our own software. I think they eventually did, but yeah, we should have stuck with the Tornadoes and the Harriers. That's all we needed.
But isn't there a bit of British in the Lightning too, though?
Yeah, the Brits have helped develop it. I don't know. I've seen a picture of like an F-35 with all the flags of all the original buyers, and I think Britain was in it. I know Canada was, Indonesia, Thailand, Japan. Not Japan.
Mm.
It was no. Japan does have F-35s now.
Saudi have them, don't they? Saudi Arabia have some F-35s.
Israel does.
Israel will have anything.
And Israel, I'm sure they've got a few, haven't they?
Israel does. France was looking into buying some, but I think they stopped.
But even the Danish Air Force.
The thing is, though, they take it and make it better, though, don't they, Steve?
To be fair, actually, for the French, they do.
See, it's not our Lightning, is it? The E Lightning should be the Lightning. They should change the name of this one.
Well, aren't you guys developing like a Lightning?
No, it's a Typhoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just happen to have one right next to me. English Lightning. There we go.
I've actually got here on my desk the new release from Airfix with the. But you say it's the same decal, didn't you? Yeah.
Where are they? I've lost them. I've lost the decals. We were just saying. Oh, there they go.
Yeah. Let's have a look at yours. Let me get mine out. Hang on, let me get mine
out.
Well, hey,
you guys are all. You guys are all great.
You bastard, Airfix! The one who sent me the decals. There's no kit in this one.
Oh,
what's going on?
It's all right. You're busy mates with them. It's fine.
Yeah. The kit's here. The kit's here beside me. So yeah, that's what I've got. So I've got the number 19 Squadron, which is the clear metal version, isn't it? So you've got the same top half. Oh, our top half's different as well, isn't it? It's still the XN793.
This is the what is now advertised as a gift set. It used to be a starter set.
Yeah.
It only has one color option, which is the green. And that is the same as the second option in the new release, XN793.
and they've sent me this one XN724, which is still Squadron 19 though, isn't it? No, hang on, what squadron is it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
they're all. Sorry, you've got Squadron 92 then, have you?
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, 92.
And the new one, or the one they've added, is a number 19 Squadron from 1970.
Yeah, you know, it's a pretty good kit. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you know, but that's the only difference really in the kit. You know, it's I bought it because I just love the lightning, and I've said on a few occasions that if anyone has built an E lightning, they can have. They send me a picture of it. I'll send them a patch, the lightning patch that I had made up.
You guys are all British, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Alright, I might trigger some of you. Okay. The lightning is ugly as shit.
Kick him.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
Thanks for joining us.
I'll tell you what,
Nomad.
the only I don't like the tall silver one. I like the camo and the I think is it grey or hemp? No, it's grey, isn't it? It's the grey one.
Now this.
Yeah. That's nice. You're on, Moss. Yeah, do it, Dan. I'll send you a
Lightning
I'll send you a patch. Yeah. But I had made up. I never gave them. I think I had about 50 made, and I've given out about 20 of them because it was for a group build, but nobody really took any attention to it. So.
Well, if you can hold off until I finish mine. Then,
yeah, no. You said when it's done, send me a picture, and I'll send it to you. I've got about 14 left, I think. Yeah, I've got about 14 left. But I give them out willy-nilly anyway. So.
Now, Moz, you know how you always tread carefully with your words, and you never like to really offend or say anything that might be considered, the truth. These decals are absolute shite.
Which ones are they for?
The Revel Ludmilla.
Yeah, they're crap, are they?
Absolute rubbish. They just keep disintegrating and not sticking properly. That's with the usual micro set. They're just
crap. Well, that's it, you know. I don't know. I said when I did that lorry, that truck, I've never seen decals so fat. They were really, really thick. So, which is a bit of a disappointment. I was just looking in my stash here. I thought I had it. I can't see it now. But do you know the lightning that's up in Scotland in Peterhead? They've got one up there. I can't remember what the company's called now, but they've got a gate guard there. And I got the decals to do that kit, but I never got around to finishing it. So, and also, do any of you know Extra Kit? You know Extra Kit?
Yes.
Which is like all the accessories that comes from Hannant's.
Hannant's own brand, yes.
Yeah. Well, I've got this sent to me today. Well, I bought it, obviously.
Oh, the Sanders Row.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is Extra Kit, but it's made for Hannant's by Vision Sword in the Czech Republic.
Ooh.
So, but what I like about this is that all the books, they even give you on the back of the box some diorama on the back of the box, like you're going across the sea with it. But to be fair, it's not a bad looking kit. I've had a quick look today because it only came this morning. But I'm going to do an unboxing of it. But I don't think the kit looks too bad. But what I'm saying is that I'm trying to work out how much I paid for it now. I just remember how much I paid for it.
I got the Supermarine Swift and the De Havilland Vampire that they did, and they were made by Special Hobby.
Right. Well, this was £27 all but a penny, so £26.99. And
wait, for 1/72nd, £26?
Yeah.
That's like $35 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, but just bear with me while I try to get out of the kit.
The Lightning's £25, by the way.
Yeah, the Lightning's £25.
Well,
yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
But look at this, right? Yeah, but
I'm sorry for the language.
Yeah, but you get photo etch with this kit. You get some photo etch. You also get a nice decal sheet. Quite, which is Tech Mod. And Tech Mod aren't bad. the decal sheets. I think Tecmo's quite good. So you get that, but also there's some 3D printed stuff there. Can you see that? Oh, let me put it on bigger screen. Let me put it on bigger screen. You also, where's me? Dodgy $40. Where is it? Where are you? Hang on, I've lost me. Where are you? Hang on. Here you are. It's a bit across here. You also get some 3D printed resin control panels and stuff. Look at that. Can you see this? So I know it's 26 quid, but they're giving you
3D decals.
3D. It's like 3D printed instrument panels.
That's rather cool.
Can you see that?
Whose are those?
See that? You get that with the kit as well. So it's all, seat. What's that say there? So you got your seat headrest sides, seat packs. You got your main forward panel. So you've got these 3D printed instrument panels and controls and seat equipment for it. And also they throw in masking kit.
That's good.
Well.
Okay, so it's a very complete kit.
So yeah, and this is for £26. Okay,
That's pretty good. What scale was it? 72nd.
1/72 scale. I was absolutely blown away because when I saw the kit, and there's and you get two types of canopies. You can have like one that you do as a fully enclosed, or one that you have like little holes in it. So anyway, you got that. Instructions are a little bit you know what I mean? They're not so as nice as Airfix are. But I think for 26 quid, I've got a fucking bargain here with all these added extras. And I just wonder when it comes to this sort of stuff. This is what they've done. So and the kit's not looking too bad. Just looking at the kit, it's all recessed panel lines. It is a bit of a basic kit, but it's a basic plane, isn't it? This there's not a lot to go on. You got a little bit of detail there. There's no flash on this, by the way, either. There's a little tiny bit of flash, but nothing crazy that you can't just go over with a little bit of a sand. But for 26 quid, what you're getting it, this is actually amazing value for money for what it is.
I think that would be reasonable without the 3D printed stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, usually the 3D printed stuff costs like itself $40.
Yeah. But that's what got me was just how much they've given you inside the kit. And is this the future? Is this how we're going to look at? Are they setting a standard here? Because I'll tell you what, if Airfix did something like this, it'll probably go for about £40, wouldn't it?
The thing is that nobody's gonna want to buy on a regular base a $40 72nd scale kit because for 72nd it might be a bit overkill if you ask me.
Well, all right. You say that, right? So they say, for instance, I'm going to put it out there because I'm going to ask you guys the same thing. When you buy a kit, have you gone out and bought the aftermarket decals because you wanted a particular scheme? And then you can add up, and then so say you bought the Lightning, which was £25. I know that the schemes that I got, which had about 4 or 5 different schemes in the pack, it was not extra decal, it was something else that they do. It's micro scale it was, but I still paid 13 quid for that, just the decal sheet alone. So I wanted to do this special version, which I haven't done yet, obviously. But so that brings the price for me, 25 quid, up to £38 already. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. The thing is that usually I shop my kits in mainly because of the paint schemes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose a kit usually based on the paint scheme that's included. The only exception is for airliners. Like I got my Air Canada decals for my 787 and 67. But like my tanks, usually even my tanks are not going to be a specific one. Like a Sherman, there's going to be a star which is painted on. and not decaled on. But you're right. But the thing is that for a 70-second scale, if 148, 100%, I would totally pay more to get these. 70-second scale, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really mind. I have definitely bought aftermarket decals before. I bought 9 Airfix Tiger Moths in 72nd because Extra Decal did a set of 9 ones, and I thought, adds only an extra £1 per plane. Why not?
Yeah, that's it.
And then I bought another one to do it in the kit markings, and then another one to do it in the kit markings, and now I'm inundated with Tiger Moths. Please send help.
Yeah,
I can get one off your ass.
I will, but it tends to be something special, like the Tempest, the Airfix Tempest that I've just finished. I just wanted a Tempest. I don't actually care. It will be camouflage either way.
Yeah. But my point could this be the future? Is there a way that the cost of model kits are going up and up and up? And because people are saying, there's a little bit of photo etch in the new Airfix KT lorry, and people are like, wow, we've got some photo etch in an Airfix kit, but you don't see much photo etch in military stuff for Tamiya, do you?
You actually do now.
Yeah.
Some of them have started to be fair, but not. I don't think it's many.
No, it's.
But
is that
will that be the next stage on for Airfix and Revel and Academy to actually start adding? Because going a decal sheet for a dash in the cockpit. Now they're doing 3D printed resin cockpits now, aren't they, and stuff like it's. But like Celtic just said there. I've seen guys paying more for the aftermarket resin and detail up parts than the actual kit itself, and that's the. I was just really blown away by what I got.
I feel like there's a place that, or like Arma Hobby does, that there's multiple levels of the same kit. There's a beginner one with nothing, just the kit, and then there's the medium one with some photo etch, and then there's the expert one with resin.
Yeah, there's a place for that. Yeah, which one have I got? Arma Hobby. I've got one like that, and but then you also got the Edard, isn't it? You've got your weekend Profi, and you've got your
Profi pack.
Profi pack. You've got your weekend edition and your Profi pack, haven't you? Yeah, I've got the Yak 1B. Yeah.
Cheap.
If I don't get Edard, I always will spend an absolute shed load on aftermarket stuff. I don't know. I just enjoy it, to be honest with you. Especially, and I know it's not everybody's favourite, but I love doing photo etch. And I think a lot of the time, especially on armour, it makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
To the kit in the end. But I just love. I find it quite relaxing, actually.
Can I just say the fit on this Tamiya crew member is godlike, bro? Like, it's the crew from my Sheridan, which I'm building now because I've got nothing else to build. I'm literally at the painting stage of the 787. Like 3-piece to make the chest, everything fits like a glove. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd show you that, because see masking guides. It's everything you need is in this one kit, and I just think. But straight away, as soon as I said it was £26.99, wasn't just double check that? For £26.99 with £3.98 shipping, which is average anyway. Shipping, you just got to swallow shipping, haven't you? You're getting a hell of a lot of plastic. You've got 2 big fat sprues here of kit, and you get the decal sheet, you get the canopy glass, you get a masking set, and also you get like a 3D printed resin set for your canopy options and everything else. I think that's bloody good value for money.
I think that's good, and I only live up the road, so I wouldn't have to pay shipping.
No, that's right. You'd probably go in and get it, wouldn't you? I'm not one to buy Hannets because I actually think it's morally wrong that they are an importer, and they are basically they're
wholesaler.
but they sell to the public as well. And I don't think that should be allowed. I think you're either one or the other.
No, but it does allow me to buy some of the more obscure brands.
Yes, that's right. I get that. But then, like I said, at the end of the day, Airfix have sold out to, to get in their own shop. And Revel now do their own shop. But when it comes to Hataka, don't bother because they charge you £45! £45 postage on a £5 pot of paint.
But you haven't let it get to you, so that's the important
No, I haven't let it get to me. No. Just I get so pissed off when I see that there's 50% off our shop, and you go into Hataka and you order everything, and you order like 60 quid. You order like 120 quid's worth of paint, thinking, and it's going to cost £60, and then they hit you with that £49 postage cost, and you're like, you can heck off, as if I'm paying that.
So we going back to Anand's, and I know you said, I think you said this last week. Part of the reason why I don't bother with that is because I can't be arsed with the website.
Yeah,
it's so unintuitive. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I check the new releases so I know what's going on. That's
I do agree with that.
I think there's very few people that wouldn't.
I mean, I
with
grew up in Yarmouth. I used to love going into the shop physically as a kid. It was like,
it is
like
fantastic.
Christmas and birthday come on at once.
Yeah, you're in a warehouse full of all of your favourite toys, but the website
exactly on an old World War II airfield. It was like,
another kit I got this week from my favourite model shop, Buffers. Hello, ladies, if you're watching from Buffers. Airwolf kit. Airwolf.
Ooh. Still love it.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
Is that the L kit from the 80s?
It's not. It's the Show Me kit from the 99. No, I think it's even later than that. Let me just go into Scalemates again. I don't think it's that old, this kit. The Air Tour one was 1984, which is 148. That's right. The Show Me one is 2006, so it's only 14-year-old. It hasn't been released a lot, to be honest. Oh, hang on, I lie. No, 2009. It was 2009. But they give you so much detail inside that which you will never ever see. Where what's he called? Is it Santi? No, what's he called? Who's the Dominic? Dominic sits in the back.
Dominic Santorini.
Yeah, that's right. But as soon as you put them together, you won't see any of it. Like the decal scheme is pretty spot on actually to what's actually on display.
Mind you, isn't the windscreen tinted anyway?
The windscreen's tinted. It should be tinted. Yeah.
So
I don't think it is on this one. Yeah, but I there was I thinking all this detail and everything. You're thinking, oh, you're going to lose it, but no, actually, they give you. I didn't notice it, so I just put out. They give you a second sprue of clear. It's actually instead of being black, it's in clear. So in theory, you could just do it one-sided if you wanted, and have clear on one side and black on the other. But it would look a bit weird. But yeah, the glass isn't tinted on this, so I think you have to tint it. But what would you use to tint the glass? Because I don't think I've tinted glass.
Probably smoke. Tamiya smoke or something.
Tamiya smoke.
Yeah.
Or just paint it black and gloss. It'd probably look a bit crap, really, but paint it black and then gloss it. Maybe. Yeah. That still would look crap. Or use semi-gloss. Yeah. Probably Tamiya, something like smoke. Smoke will probably be the best.
I'd probably leave it on my desk for about 15 years, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a bit of a kit to build. It's not an easy kit to build either. It's going to be quite in depth. That's how many pieces. It doesn't say how many pieces in it. Yeah, I don't know. That's the other kit I got this week, and also just because I'm liking the old English cars. There's a Lotus there as well that I'm going to look at building. This comes with photo etch parts as well. This one, the Tamiya Lotus, which is a nice kit in itself anyway. So.
Oh yes, I've done that. That's amazing kit.
This Lotus is a good kit, is it?
Would you like to see the finished product?
Yeah, go on then.
It's a lovely kit, but the bonnet doesn't fit.
The bonnet doesn't fit.
It does not fit, so you end up having to kind of because of the end there. It doesn't sit flat because of the engine. Let me just give that a dust off so you can see it properly.
It's
a nice kit. There we go.
Oh, that is all
nice.
Yeah, it is lovely. But like I said, the problem with the bonnet is that you have to fabricate yourself a little engine hooky thing because it won't sit flat no matter what you do. So.
Oh wow!
But that was my only grumble with the kit, to be honest. The rest of the kit was, took probably a day or two to do. Other than that, it's very nice. So
yeah,
nice and straightforward and easy. I enjoyed doing that a lot. So that was my first ever car kit as well. So
really.
Interesting colour scheme.
All right, considering I had literally no idea what I was doing.
What were you doing with the purple then?
I did it for a customer, and then she decided not to pay, and so I ended up with a purple cart, and I was like, "Thanks."
Right.
Now this bloody thing's got to sit on my shelf.
I'll give you £8.50 for it if you want to sell it.
And then we have it. So.
I'll raise
you can have it for £8.50. It's about all it's worth, I think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, she made all this fuss. So I want this done. I want that done. I want it in purple. And then she decided not to pay me at the end of it. And I'm like, why did we even have this conversation? What was all that fuss about?
Maybe they just wanted 8.5 Hawks instead.
Well, I mean,
Hawks for everyone
instead. But...
yeah.
Bought from the new monarch.
There used to be. This was just before Rona hit. At Norwich Airport, they took an RAF Hawk just decommissioned, just out of service, and for no obvious reason to me, they just stuck it right in front of where I sat and had lunch every morning, every afternoon.
Really?
So I spent about 18 months staring at a Hawk. It was nice. Enjoyed it. I know. Well, I will do. This really is a bit crap.
I remember they used to have a Jaguar up at City Hall in Norwich, didn't they? As kind of a after they closed Cultural down and made it into RMP View. They had one of the old Jaguars as a gate guardian. Is that still there up at City Hall? It is it?
Yeah, it was there when I.
That's nice. At least there's some.
Yeah, it was there when I last went, which was about last year. Looks pretty permanent to me.
Permanent.
I always thought that was kind of a travesty what they did to Cultural, given its history and importance. Not only in World War II, but throughout the Cold War as well.
Mm.
And then just to turn it into a prison and a housing estate like that, as if, it meant literally nothing to anyone, was that kind of always rankled with me a little bit.
Well, that's nothing. It's like Filton in Bristol. They've actually started putting houses on the fucking runway. Yeah. So that is just a travesty within itself. Is building houses on the runway that gave us Concorde and all those other amazing planes, and that's all they can think about. All they could do, instead of embracing what it is, a runway, they've gone and built houses on. I think it was that's right, because I think Concorde was one of the last planes to land on that runway, wasn't it? Before they put it in the hangar. But to build houses on something,
I'm pretty sure if they thought ahead with these sort of things, and turned them into museum, they're going to make a lot more money than they would in the short term just with housing projects, And that to me is very short-sighted. When they decommission all the tornadoes, what are the frames? They sell them all off for scrap. I even thought of keeping some for future generations.
Yeah.
So it just the whole thing seems like it's just nobody cares what happens to any of it, and like all this history that we're seeing in front of us means nothing.
Well, that's what I was saying about filtering.
Anyway,
what I was saying about filtering is there's not a lot of planes there, to be honest. Most of it's all model kits and stuff, isn't it? It's not a lot of, they haven't got what's it called? Is it the Freightliner? Is it called? That big like a jumbo jet sort of thing, but it was a Freightliner, wasn't it? But they've only got like a bit of cabin of it. They haven't got the full vehicle, the full plane there at all. It's a real sad shame. But they've got one hangar there with Concorde in it. But it's a shame that they're doing that. So look here, some of the chat here. Scampton will be next. Airfix already leaving. Scampton. Airfix already leaving. Sorry, I didn't catch that. What's that about Airfix already leaving?
I mean, they've closed Scampton down once already and reopened it, haven't they? So I don't think they'll ever close Scampton down. It's like Bomber County is now Fighter County, isn't it? It's where all the quick reaction alert fight is based, and it's where all the A3A sentries used to be based at Waddington, I think. Fields in Lincolnshire. I'm fortunate enough to live in Lincolnshire, Stowe Road for most of the airfield. Cosford and is up in the West Midlands. All the central airfields I think are pretty safe. I think maybe some of the ones that are on the outreaches, like you say, down in the West Coast and on the East Coast, and maybe some up in Scotland and in the Northwest are likely to be closing. But I don't think they'll be closing any of the Midlands airfields down anytime soon, just because they're central to everything, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
But Cosford's only training. That will never be like proper operational stuff.
No.
Trust me, I know that because I work there.
What do they train up there on? Just like stuff, or
no? That's the thing.
There's
the only operational aircraft that is at Cosford that flies are Tutor Grobs, and they're absolutely boring as hell. Okay. We've got a load of Jags. There's about there's tons of Jags, which they used to ground run up until April about 5 years ago, I think it was. They stopped because the Jags engines had completely timed out. 2 weeks before, the week before they were due to complete decommission, caught fire. That was fun. I mean, we've had a load. They've had a few Hawks turn up, but all they use the Jags and the Hawks for are for like the technical engineering side of it, even though they're woefully out of date now. But it's the closest they've got. I mean, they've got a load of Tornadoes, but again, same problem. They work on aircraft that doesn't really exist to them anymore.
Yeah,
but they can't afford to really give them anything that's actually up to date.
What is the state of RAF now then? So what bombers have they got in their ranks
That's
now?
a fucking mess. We haven't got anything, really.
We haven't got a bomber, have we?
No, the F-35, even though it's the fighter version, that's the closest thing we've got, I think, at the moment, that I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, no, we've got drones. Well, we haven't got drones. We rent them off the Americans.
Yeah. We don't have any bombers, have we? Now it's just
no.
What we got the
Tornado come out of service.
We've got the Eurofighter, haven't we?
Same.
Yeah, that's not really a bomber, and that's absolute shite and all.
No, I'm talking about fighters now. Yeah, I was just talking fighters now. We've got the
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not going to hear properly.
Yeah, and what else have we got? We have got the F-35Bs. What else have we got?
Yeah.
You know those
pretty much it. It's all helicopters.
You know those little toy drones that you can buy in like Hawkins Bazaar and things. We've got them, loads of them.
Yeah.
Got to love Hawkins Bazaar.
Helicopter.
Got to love Hawkins Bazaar.
when we had issues with the F-35.
I mean, they seem to be working in Ukraine, okay, so we may well be seeing the future of warfare there, you know, as it happens now.
Yeah.
So we're going up them old hand grenades to drop on tanks. So...
things. Yeah.
Oh. Gloss.
I bet the Americans are furious. All the hundreds of billions they've spent on drones and stuff, and the Ukrainians are using like the $12.99 ones from Amazon and dropping grenades from them, knocking out Russian tanks.
That's what's scary though, because now they're doing that. I'm not jesting. You will see a whole load of regulation now going to come in force now against drones. You're going to see it. You see what the Ukrainians are doing.
Anyway.
Well, there isn't really. You know, it's like, because I had a drone for a while until I lost it.
We're all safe.
The comeback button doesn't frigging work, right? But no, I had a drone for a while. And basically I flew it around and, you know, said, oh, you can't fly this here. And they said, oh, yes, I can. And I bloody well will. You know, there's no laws against it as such.
No, but you shouldn't have taken out those 2 tanks, though, should you?
No, that's right, yeah. Well, you know, I was hoping to be called up by Matey Boy, but it never happened. So, yeah, it's you know, that's what will happen now. There'll be so much regulation now because of what we're seeing in the Ukraine, you know, and whatever Russia's going to bring in as well. But this is all going to come to a head anyway, wasn't it? Sadly.
Have you seen the little? I think you just said it. Oh, I misheard probably. The little bomb release things that they've made for the drones. They're out there. They're really clever.
Have you guys seen the video of the small like toy drone that drops a grenade straight into a tank hatch?
That's the one I was on about. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a little rack to go underneath it.
This thing fucking booms up.
They were 2 perfect hits, weren't they, through the catches?
I have too many Shermans. I want to build another one.
I think you'll find that like the amateur drone pilots are actually leading the way in terms of knocking the tanks out and stuff. I don't think Ukraine actually had any proper drone pilots. They're bringing in the amateur guys who've been flying them as hobbyists and just teaching them how to use militarily.
It's so funny how Ukraine is actually winning this war.
Yeah.
They're actually winning it.
Well, Russia's got no money anyway.
Huh? Oh, yeah, well,
the only thing I can think of is because don't forget that the Ukrainians have been trained by NATO troops well in advance of the invasion as well. You know, for like the last 10 years, they've been trained by the Americans and the British and the Germans and everyone else. So they're well up on NATO doctrine, which is, as we've seen, is far superior to any Russian doctrine.
Well, what's good? I tell you, I'm surprised.
Using Cold War stuff, and they haven't.
See, I am surprised we've not gone in yet. Not us, but NATO, because the European thing was this, right? NATO thing and everything was this. Ukraine and all those countries were told if you gave up your atomic weapons or your nuclear weapons, we will always protect you. And Russia promised if you give them up, we'll leave you alone. So one of them's lied. So we promised to protect the Ukrainians.
The thing
and we haven't.
The thing is that Russia has access to nuclear weapons, and if NATO gets into it, they have nuclear weapons too.
Yeah.
So it's escalation that they're afraid of. Because if there wasn't any nuclear weapons involved, we would have been there.
That's exactly it. That's why NATO hasn't gone in. If
it would have been done in 2 days.
Inside week,
we'd be eating in Moscow now.
Which leads us back to the topic of Tamiya.
Tamiya! Yeah.
That's getting a bit heavy.
Shit, I don't like Tamiya. That's why I built so many of them.
So one of the best kits I have ever built, one of the kits that I've made that has just made me go, holy fuck, this is so well designed is their Messerschmitt 109 E3 or 4, whatever it was.
I built it too.
It was just, it was,
The old 90s kit, the old 90s plane are so simple yet so good.
As I say, it pleased me in a way that I don't think a kit normally does.
Oh, now you look at my language.
Apparently, according to the chat, Sam's just written this. We have the Lancaster bomber. Is it still officially part of the RAF?
The Spitfire 2. The Spitfire 2.
The first new aircraft kit I ever did was the 48 Mosquito, and that was the first aircraft. I'd done tanks and cars and stuff, but never aircraft. And I was just like, wow, this is like a jigsaw puzzle.
Look at this.
It wasn't even a model kit. It was like a jigsaw puzzle.
I love the Mosquito, possibly my favourite aircraft, and this is my chance to free advertise for the De Havilland Museum just off the M25. Everyone should go. 3 Mosquitoes in one hangar. What more could you want?
I know.
It's a pretty cool museum, that is. I actually managed to skank a school trip with work for that. I used another member to get down there.
I went to university just up the road thinking that it would be a great excuse to go there all the time, but of course they close for the winter. And during the summer, all the students are off, so it didn't really work.
Have you seen the Netflix movie, The Bombing? It's not it's on Netflix, but it's not by Netflix. It's about a mosquito raid in Copenhagen where they needed to hit a Gestapo headquarters, but they hit a school instead.
Oh yeah, I know that one. I know the story.
Very good. It's
yes,
good.
I've seen that.
It's very well done. Like, I absolutely love those mosquito raids where they go right on top of the buildings, grazing them, and they drop at the last second. I love that.
Tabodi Go says, and the Hurricane 2C can carry bombs as well.
Yeah, you had to have a crew loose to be a pilot, didn't you? But you had to have a crew loose to be a Mozzie pilot.
Yeah, definitely. Is it worth a trip to there? Dan's asked. Worth a trip to where?
Oh God,
if it's in the Mosquito Museum, then yes. Yeah,
definitely.
I got into a minor argument with somebody on Twitch. Obviously, I was right because everyone who enters an argument on the internet is right. And
so by consequence, he was right too.
Sorry, my brain shut down from the logic. The Mosquito is the only Second World War prototype still preserved. That was my claim based on the Mosquito Museum, and he was saying that things like was it the Sea Fury, but that's not the prototype. Sea Fury isn't preserved.
Well, it's also not a Mosquito.
Yeah, but genuinely, the Mosquito is the I looked it up. It is the only Second World War prototype aircraft still preserved. It's very lovely.
Yeah,
very very lovely. So they've got a bomber, a fighter, and a fighter, and a prototype.
And the prototype, yeah.
A lightning nightmare at Captain VFC. Tabodi Goes just said.
A lightning nightmare. This is utter crap. They just keep breaking. They just keep disintegrating, and this is just going to sit on a shelf for another 15 years unfinished, I think.
Well, I built that lorry, and I'm overjoyed with how well it's come together for a Rebel kit. It was one of the easiest builds I think I've done since the Spitfire.
This is quite old.
Yeah. Wait. I think Revel have lost their way. They have lost their way.
I mean, did they ever have their way?
I think they did. You think about what we built in previous.
Yes, Dan, I agree. I should now paint them on, and in fact, the ones on the ends have always started flaking and messing up, and I will now.
Talking about World War II prototypes. I don't know if it counts, but I think the prototype Spitfire still exists.
No, K5054. That was one that
it's a replica.
It's a replica. Okay.
It's a replica, yeah.
God damn it.
Speaking of mosquitoes and shit Revell models.
Oh my God! I tried to build it like 10 years ago.
It's awful. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm even going to do the video for it now because it's just.
Well, do it and just shit on it. the old way.
Just do 2 or 3 minutes of you just screaming.
It's just a
Yeah, I think
single
I think what I could
continuous
do, I could probably do that, and just like a 5 minute. What can we get ad revenue on? Is it going to be like 8-10 minutes? We'll do 10 minutes. Get the ad revenue,
screaming,
and it would just be on a loop. Yeah, be on a loop, and me screaming at it and chucking it in the bin.
And then some nice jolly music, and then back to the screaming.
That's it.
And
I
did the yellow item as well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Maybe
that.
with a clip from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, just thrown in for good measure.
That's it, yeah. I mean, I actually managed to pull the yellow off like this, which was impressive. I was just pissed off because it just shit. No, well.
I wasn't impressed with the 172 scale mosquito from Tamiya, to be honest.
I have to disagree. I didn't have a problem. I know
where
the
the nacelles fit underneath the wings. You got that little fucking V bit at the back. You know what I mean? When it all sits in, it goes at a point, doesn't it? What a fucker! I spent hours. I even got a bloody metal G clamp, right, to force it down into that gap, and then it still popped back up again after I painted the bloody thing. Well, I don't know what I did wrong, but it was on both sides. It was on one side. It was on both sides. And when I talked to other people about it, they said that later on they've gone back to their model after painting it, and that little thing is stuck up at the very end. No matter what I did, I put super glue in there. I sanded it down. It still popped up. Why it pops up? Because there's nothing underneath it. It's just a point that goes into that section. But honestly, bollocks.
Maybe it's just happy to see you.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, something like that, mate. But it really upset me. I couldn't get it to go down. But I don't think. I think the Airfix mosquito. No, I've not built it yet, but I've seen some builds of it. I think that's a pretty good kit.
Other than the disastrous historical issue with it, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you cannot always blame Airfix for that, can you? They scanned it from a mosquito.
No, they scanned a target tug, and they didn't make the changes to turn it into the bomber that they were supposedly making. They've just made a target tug without the target tug.
I can tell you which mosquito it was. It was ours, which was a target tug.
Yeah, exactly. It's the one which is a target tug painted like a bomber. They just... It's simple stuff. I mean, it's still a really nice kit, and if they just make a target tug runner, then we'll be fine.
Well, I found. I don't know if I should actually say, but I know something else. They scan today.
You shouldn't say. You'll get told off.
No, I probably wouldn't. To be fair, but the thing is that I found out from someone else. They haven't told me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. As I said, I think you're going to get different now because I don't know whether you watched the latest Sprue talk from Airfix, and you got Ethan and the other designer there talking, and they said this new researcher, Luke. I love Luke, by the way. Luke is an absolute legend. He goes out, he scans these planes in, then comes back and he does all the research. So they shouldn't get any mistakes now because he's pretty shit hot on what he does. He was saying that they did some kits and then they build the model and then it goes back to Luke and then he does them this list of what's wrong with it to be done, if you know what I mean.
I'll tell you the one that scanned today, which I'll tell you when we finish the live stream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it would be perfect because the aircraft they've done it on is bang on. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Oh no!
Oh, it's fine.
Disaster. Well, I've decided I'm going to build Airfix's Lightning this week anyway. Airfix got his cracking. This one here.
Do it.
I think this is a cracking Lightning. This one, I reckon.
My friend bought me a few presents for my birthday a couple of years ago, but just back before Rona, and he knows that I make Airfix. He does not himself, but he tried. Bless him. He thought it would really annoy me if he bought me the quick build Spitfire. So we were sitting there in the pub, 3 pints in, and I went, I'm going to make it. I'm going to bloody make it right now. And so we're sitting there in the middle of this pub with rounds coming in, timing how quickly I can make the quick build Spitfire. And I've still got it. It's on my shelf.
I've done
20 minutes.
I've done every single quick build going. I have every single one. For the channel as well. Every single one they bring one out, I do it. Apart, if they do re-releases like the Spitfire, but they had like the Invasion striped issue, I didn't bother with that one. But yeah,
fun, aren't they?
I like it. And I'll tell you what, right? I'm not lying to you. If you got a friend who likes a sports car, or somebody who likes a plane, or somebody who likes something or other that matches what Quick Build does, they love it. I've given loads of these presents away, these little kits as presents to my friends, because before then, when they, a lot of my friends, I used to go for the knacky stuff. Like when my mate turned 30, I bought him a Rubik's Cube, and he said that was the best gift he had because he spent the last, the next 6 months trying to remember how to complete the Rubik's Cube or the Rubik's clock and stuff like that, But I give these quick builds out now as presents to my elderly friends because I'm 43 now. But you give them the Bugatti, they love it. They actually love it, Yeah, it's or the Audi. The Audi was a good one. My friend had an Audi, and I got him the quick build of the car that he had, and he's got it, and it's so good. He's got it on his mantelpiece, on his shelf in the front room. I can't say mantelpiece because nobody has mantelpieces anymore. But yeah, it's it. So
I've got a mantelpiece. I'll have
Yeah, I've got a mantelpiece as well.
Was that because of the comment I made last week?
I pinched it.
To be fair, I have actually got a mantelpiece. To be fair, but
yeah.
This kit does have the engine detail inside as well. I didn't do a very good job of it because I couldn't be asked.
Yeah. Night, Dan. See you soon, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Bye,
and welcome to Mark's Mods. Mark's Mods. Hello, Mark's Mods. Have you got your own little channel? Have you, Mark's Mods?
But talking about 90s kits with the 193 from Tamiya, this thing, the Mustang, is one of these, which went together perfectly. Little Mustangs.
What a beauty.
Yeah. It's a Polish one, too.
So it is.
Yeah. And also, I had a curse with Mustangs because for the past 10 years, I tried building some. I tried the Top Gun release of the Airfix Mustang, the 72nd one for Tom Cruise's P-51. Tried it, failed. Tried the Tamiya's Mustang, failed. I tried multiple Mustangs over the last 10 years and couldn't complete a single one. And this is the first one I'm actually done. Like, this one is complete. I'm fucking proud of it.
As I mentioned in a Discord group, in 72nd, I may have got ever so slightly drunk and bought 6 Mustangs in 72nd scale off Marketplace. So now I guess I have to make loads of Mustangs. That's in addition to the 3 I already had unmade.
I haven't got the time. I even though I'm semi-retired now, I haven't got the time to. I was only saying this the other day, Tam. I can spend 3 days, 3 nights building a model kit, but I could also spend another 3 days just editing the video down. So.
At that point,
I agree.
Yeah, I've still got 2 videos in the wind to make finish off, and I'm struggling.
I don't think I certainly didn't kind of have any idea of how hard it was going to be before I came into it. It's going to be like, well, I'm going to be making kits, so I may as well film myself doing it anyway. Because I'm not working because of disabilities. So I thought, I'll start a YouTube channel. And then, like 3 weeks into the YouTube channel, I'm like, why did I start a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Just, I had no idea how much work it took, and like the editing and the getting maybe 20 hours filming down into a 30-minute video or a 20-minute video. It's not easy, is it? And you still want to think you're including everything that's relevant to the build. So
and it's difficult to figure out what that is as well sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit you want to chuck out. Well, there's a bit you want to chuck out, but you're a bit like, I need to keep that in, but it's going to make the video way too long. And that's what's going to be difficult sometimes.
It's like I've just been given the Diagoski. So I've got the Valentino Rossi bike to do, and I've also got the Ford GT to build. So I've got to start that this month. but I've got the first 4 parts of one and 2 parts of the other. Well, they sent it weird. It was parts 1 and they sent me parts 3, 4, 5, and 6 of one kit, and then parts 1 of 2 of another kit, and then I've had to wait for the other bits to come in. But I'm hopefully going to build them up in the next couple of weeks. But the trouble is that like in one part it's just a bloody wheel or tire, but you're not going to build that, are you? Do you know what I mean? So
I know what you should do with your Nan Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just get drunk and buy 30 B-17s.
I wouldn't put it past me. I've got a pint of 12% stout right next to me right now. So.
Oh
Christ!
I'm back into the old Guinness and the old Menadoos. I'm into these stouts again. Menadoo is better than Guinness. Don't say that to the Irish, but that Menadoo from St Austell Brewery is one of the best stouts I've ever bought, ever drank. Even I can drink 6 at a time as well.
Yeah.
Mark's Mods. I'm building the Valentino Rossi motorcycle as well. Oh, brilliant! So. Did they give you that kit for free as well? Then did they? They've given me. These are I got about £2,000 worth of kit coming my way now because that's how much it costs.
Jesus,
about £1,000 a kit. Yeah.
I wish.
I don't think I'd want £2,000 worth of kit. I wouldn't want to build it just in case they fucked it up.
Well, you don't think you can on this one, but it just comes as little. Jeff 72, behave yourself. I promise you. You try that Menadoo from St Austell Brewery. Come back to me and tell me it's not as good. It's not good. It'd be even better than Guinness. But me
and the missus have been drinking for enough time now that we've started brewing our own beer. So we've got a stout in the room just next to me.
Have you? I've always wanted to brew my own. But it's just another hobby that.
I absolutely don't have time for it. But
yeah.
Is it illegal? No, it's illegal to resell, right?
You can't sell it without a license. You can certainly brew it for home consumption.
But I think you can with cider, though, can't you? Because I remember I went to Thatcher's, up in Somerset. I went to Thatcher's to where they
is it Sanford? I want to say.
Yes, Sanford way. But they turned around and said that. The reason they used to brew cider was all the best workers would go to that farm because the cider was good, and they would pay by cider. You see, so which is quite interesting. But so, Mark, did you get yours? Are you doing it on behalf of the Gnoski, or you? How do you say it again? I have to find out. Before I do the video, I have to learn how to say it. Jeff 72 is a proud Irishman. I respectfully disagree. Fair enough, mate. I'm not against the Irish. I do like Guinness. So I go out drinking. It's Guinness Black for me all the day. But
I like Guinness, but Guinness in England just somehow doesn't do it for me.
It tastes too much like coffee, to be honest.
I'm with you on that one, and I hate coffee.
I went to an Irish pub down in Montreal for a friend's birthday this weekend, and it's an Irish pub. We had a car bomb, which is basically a shot of like. Those coffee, those coffee-based alcohols, which you drop into a pint of Guinness and then you drink it. It's disgusting.
I have a loyalty card. One of those stamps. So many stamps, and you get one free for a coffee shop in Montreal. Which, considering I live 3,500 miles away, is a little bit difficult. Went over.
Out of curiosity, what's the shop?
Pigeon.
Oh, fuck it. It reminds me of something. I think I know what you're on about. Holy shit, I think exactly what... I need to look it up.
Yeah. They're good coffee, all right?
I don't drink coffee. That's the issue.
Whenever the Formula 1 was on in June, that's when I was that.
As I said, it's...
What an objectively beautiful plane.
It is great, isn't it? I love it.
Hey,
you know what? It's
you want a better one?
Even the arse.
That is top tier.
Sorry, you put some junk in the way. Where's your beautiful plane?
You know what? All right. I'm getting the patches out because I was inverted. Top Gun patch, Tomcat. This is a Checkmates. Yeah, that's all I have. I went to an air show. I need to show you guys this. I went to an air show and there was a a guy that sold stickers, and I got these. Well, first of all, you got the Pan Am one, and then a NASA one that says "Not flat. We checked."
That's cool. That.
Yeah,
That is cool. That is cool.
Super friendly guys, honestly.
I've got
Also,
smoked.
we had the chance to see 3 Mustangs take off at the end because there was a bad weather the day after, so they took off to get into their main base. So we saw 3 Mustangs take off, and I nicely breathed in some kerosene, which was wonderful.
It's always the best.
Lead poisoning.
If only they made it as an aftershave.
Yeah.
Last time I was at Duxford, they had 16 Spitfires in the air at one time. Just a
I've been there
ridiculous
with the done
number.
that.
Man.
But I went to Duxford for the Spitfire launch for Airfix, and they had them all in that one hangar, and it was quite a sight to behold. It's incredible. I still think the Griffin one is the better sounding one than the Merlin.
Oh god, shit.
So anyway, he's wrong.
Unpopular opinion: anything with a Griffin is not a real Spitfire.
Honestly,
everyone's entitled to their wrong opinions.
I tell you what, he's a real Spitfire.
I didn't say that. I just said the engine sounds better than the Merlin.
You compare a Mark 22 with a Mark 1. Is it even remotely the same plane?
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
Well, they're
Exactly.
the same apart from the front end, the
I'm with you
fuselage,
on
the
that.
wings at the tail.
The wings are different. The elevator is different. The tail is different. The canopy is different. The front cowling is different. Everything on it is different.
They often make
Hey,
as well.
You'll be saying in a minute it's a Seafire at this rate.
It's like I've had this broom for 20 years. It's had 10 different heads and 10 different handles, but it's still the same broom, isn't it?
It is, yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's like that paradox of that big warship that it's been kept into good condition, but the planks kept being removed, and changed. So is it still the same ship?
Yeah.
Is it still the same ship, or is it not?
Wow, I don't know. You could say about everything. It's like we our bodies are totally regenerated over 7 years, aren't they? We don't have the same.
Yeah, every
body.
7 years or somebody new apparently.
Yeah, it was somebody new.
Entirely new.
New cells.
Except for our organ.
Speaking of being newly tooled every 7 years, takes us back to our topic.
What was the topic? I didn't know what the topic was.
New Spitfire Mark 1 from Airfix. Another one. Let's go.
No, the last thing is an ends more bloody Spitfires.
It's getting harder to link it back round to whatever the topic is.
Yeah, I don't know. The trouble is Spitfires will sell, but I also I've said it so many times. I've probably wasted my breath, but I didn't get into scale modeling because of planes. I got into scale modeling because of space. I love space. I love the shuttle.
You had too much space and wanted to fill it with Spitfires.
Yeah, I wanted. It was the time we did the rockets. We did the space shuttles. We even had futuristic vehicles on the moon that whenever just concept vehicles. And I think getting people into scale modeling through space is a good one. And I also think that going down the route of cars is a blinder, really.
You should get one of those. I call them Apollo Corvettes because funny story, Chevrolet wanted to give Corvettes away to all the Apollo astronauts, but since they were technically government employees, it would count as a bribe, which is illegal. So what they did is sell each astronaut from the Apollo missions a Corvette for $1.
Yeah.
And they all had Corvettes.
See, why would they bother buying a Corvette when they had their own jets? You know, the astronauts had their own jets, didn't they? Oh, let's go.
Hi, honey, I'm home. There's an P-38 Talon in the front.
That's right. Let's go to Las Vegas, lads. Let's all get in our jets and go to Las Vegas. That's what they were doing.
That reminds me of Hot Shots.
Yeah.
Where the guy just giving the keys to like a valet on a carrier. Yeah. That was a good movie.
I'll tell you another good sounding plane is the Bearcat. That's just
oh, God.
I'm going to say something controversial. The best sounding aircraft in the world is the T6 Texan or the Arbor.
Yes. I was going to say that.
What? Sorry?
The T6, the Texan, or the Harvard if you were Canadian
or British. I was in a
Is it?
Don't judge. I was in someone's field the other day, and
I'm judging.
Just heard this beautiful rumbling and think, hang on, is that?
Yeah, me too.
Is that? And as soon as it goes past, you hear the brrrr sound.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a T6.
You know what causes this?
The propeller blade tips going faster than the speed of sound is what I was told.
It keeps going faster. It's such a sexy noise.
Didn't Kitty Hawk bring one of them out in a 132 scale back in the day? T6 Texan. Kitty Hawk. That is a really good model.
I think it's a Harvard. Well, I mean, the only difference is the exhausts. I'm gonna look it up.
And the radio. Don't forget the radio.
Well,
it says it's not.
I actually learned something. Holy shit. T6 Harvard.
Because they did
Airfix to the Texan.
Yeah. Because I think Airfix did have one, but the tooling was old, wasn't it? I don't think it's been released for a long time.
Kitty Hawk has a 32nd scale one.
They also did
French. It's French on the box.
There was a Hella tooling as well, and Airfix released the Hella tooling, and they're completely different because one's the early one with the with extra frames and the different tail, and then the Hella one is the newer one. But that was years ago as well.
Because I reckon that will be one as going to be a future vintage classic. So it must still have the tooling because I think the last time they brought it out at 172 was back mid 2000, 2003, like 2004.
Oh my god. I need that kit in my life.
Remember I mentioned...
Oh. Which kit's that?
The T6 from Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, it's a hell of a kit. 132 scale. It's a hell of a kit.
Oh my god. Alright, be right back. I'm going to do some uncreative things.
He's going to wipe himself.
How much? $111. It's not that bad.
That's not bad, is it? It's a kit.
Tallery has a Harvard. 48
Do they?
Yeah.
The first kit I went a bit obsessive with in 72nd, of course, because I am limited on space, was the Academy Texan, and I ended up with, again, a decal set for 6 of them, so I ended up with 7 Texans.
Wow. Which if you want, did you say that Hella produced the kit? Because isn't Hella reboxed theirs and didn't Revel box the Hella kit at one point?
I don't know.
Sure
however, there is a company at the moment reboxing a lot of Hella kits, and I'm probably going to get kicked for even saying their name. Mr. Craft.
Oh. Oh.
You want to know what tier the Airfix tooling is?
Go on then. What tooling is it?
1962.
Oh, that's a baby. That is. That's a baby. That is. Crumbs.
I bet it fits wonderfully.
I bet it does.
I have the special hobby one upstairs, which is actually the Academy kit with resin additions to make it an older Harvard, or they now do it again as an earlier Texan.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can flex with the Harvard is offloading one.
Yeah.
And Dave got me one for my birthday a few years back. Absolutely brilliant.
Cool. Oh man, my absolute dream would be to fly in a Mustang. That was
109 is my favourite.
You like the 109, do you, mate?
Oh, dude, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Don't argue with me.
There was a time when I would have probably just rage quit for hearing that. But I started making in fact, funnily enough, it wasn't the Tamiya one, it was the Academy 109E. I started making that, and just holding a 3D model of a Messerschmitt 109 in my hands inspired me to buy a book and learn more about it. And it was just such a
it's a wonderful
plane.
aircraft.
Ridiculously good.
Again, I'm going to flex again.
There we go.
It's the only time I can do it. You know Black 6 that used to fly in the 90s?
Oh, yes.
That crashed in Duxford. Well, that's at our work. That's at Cosford now. As soon as that entered the building, it was all fitted, it was all put together and stable on its own undercarriage. I got straight in it and had my photo taken with it.
Of course you did. But why wouldn't you? You'd have to.
Well, exactly. You could not miss the opportunity.
I'm gonna have
absolute
a semi-controversial.
Did you get in there and go, "What is your name?"
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Got a bit overexcited.
Yeah. There you go.
I tell you what. This is something you don't know about. This is only on the tropical variant. Is that where the first aid compartment is at the back?
Yeah.
On the tropical versions, once you've opened that, obviously you still get your first aid kit on the back. There's a K98 rifle stored in the tail fuselage on the back wall.
Oh, really?
And we've actually had ours put back in. For no apparent reason whatsoever, because nobody's ever going to see it.
Nice.
But know it's there.
I'll put it on the... Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll put it on the Discord later on, because I've got a photo of it.
Just imagine, mate, right? You're there working late at night in that building, and the zombie apocalypse happens. You can go straight to that plane and get that ready.
A 10-round manual gun. Good luck.
Well, if we could get the main guns work, because we also have the main guns in there as well.
Wow.
Oh, have you guys seen that video of the P-51 firing the 6 machine guns?
Oh, that's awesome, that video is.
Just...
And they did it at an air show as well, didn't they?
I don't know. Also, controversial opinion. Well, not so controversial opinion. The finest aircraft Britain has ever built is the Hawker Hurricane.
Oh, God, yeah.
I love
it.
So much sexier.
Beautiful.
Way sexier.
That's what really got me. You know when James May did his Toy Stories and he built that life-size Spitfire.
Yeah.
He is the biggest proponent that the Hawker Hurricane was the better plane in World War II.
Well, he said no.
But like you said earlier,
it's not better. He says that it's the one that saved Britain. He's a fervent defender that the Hurricane actually saved Britain, which is true.
Yes.
There are many good arguments that that case, in fairness.
What I find quite
many good arguments.
Quite bizarre. Again, a lot of this comes from
stable for Scott.
Yeah.
From being able to physically hold a model in like an Airfix kit rather than just reading it in books. You have the Gloucester Gladiator, the Hawker Hurricane, and the Supermarine Spitfire all within a very, very short space of time.
Yeah.
And the Gladiator is the most modern you can ever make a biplane. A Hurricane is basically a biplane with only one wing. And the Spitfire is a completely new thing. And they all happen so soon after each other. It's quite bizarre.
Yeah.
You know that go back to James May speak, because that was filmed at Cosford.
Yeah,
it's still there, still on display there.
Yeah,
the company that made it, they made Gate Guardians, and the fuselage is a Mark 1 Spit. The wings are actually a Mark 5. So some,
close enough.
Useless information for you.
I'm going to come out. Where's Cosford again? Up in near
Shropshire.
Shropshire. I'm going
near
Midlands,
near Birmingham.
Not near
Birmingham. I think what I'll do is I'll cook a nice roast dinner, get some flowers and some chocolates. Then on the Friday night, on the Saturday, I'm going to dump her in the car and we're going to go to Cosford for the day, I think.
Cosford is randomly the first time I ever started streaming building kits, which is a good segue to shamelessly plug my Twitch channel. Follow me on Twitch. The first time I ever did that, somebody just said, "Oh, I live near Cosford. We should meet up at Cosford and look at planes."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been past it on the train, and I know with Hendon effectively replacing planes with touchscreens, they kicked a lot of stuff out to Cosford. So it's high on my list.
Just a lot. We've just actually, that said, we've just had the Mark V Blenheim come up from Hendon.
Yeah.
Which actually, in fact, is a Bolingbroke. If getting technical.
Is that Messerschmitt that you've got up there, mate? Is that got the swastikas on it?
Yeah, everything. All our German stuff have all got swastikas on. At the moment, I'm waiting for the day that it upsets somebody and we've got to paint them.
Yeah, did anyone watch that video about council culture on social media?
Yes, I watched it today, actually, yeah.
What do you think of it? Because I think he misses the point.
Yeah.
I think he misses the point that this happens, it's the same on eBay. Because it's a global platform, I can't sell a model kit or anything with a swastika on it, even if it's a Hindu god or something with a swastika. I can't do it. For instance, on eBay, I put up a Codex game, and obviously it's got the swastika in it. Taken down within minutes, and they said, they banned me from listing for 3 days. And they told me straight. They said it's not the fact of anything; it's that in other we've got to abide by the laws of the land in the countries. And in Germany, that symbol is banned. And at the end of the day, it's their sandpit. You've got the right to play in it with their rules. So if they decide that they don't want the swastika on these things, you've got to take it down. It's not up for discussion. It's not a democracy. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is not a democracy. It's a business, and they have to abide by the laws of the land.
Here's the thing they don't say very often, and this was confirmed by a German friend of mine. It's not illegal in Germany. It's illegal to be shown out of context in Germany, i.e., it's allowed to be shown on the back of an aircraft or in the context of the Second World War. It's not allowed to be sprayed on the wall with symbols like Heil Hitler. That's out of context.
This year,
only out of context is it not allowed to be used in Germany.
This year in Germany, for the first time since it was released in the mid-90s, you can buy the original. The original, is it Doom? Is it Doom? It's not Doom. It's the other one.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. That's it. They've only just released the original because it had swastikas in it, and this is a nearly 30-year-old game.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I mean, though. It's like because it's such a because some people call it is it the Hackenkraut or something they call it as well? It's a German
Hackenkreuz.
Hackenkreuz, that's right.
Something like that.
Because it's a film, but I just think that it's sad, really. It's we just got to move on. But he put that video out, and I thought he missed the point completely. It's not a case of it's like you've got to abide by the laws of the land, and if they felt it was a bit of a misdemeanor in Germany, they remove it. So. But I can see around it because for years now, I was buying. I think it was an Academy kit, and the swastika was in two halves, and you had to blind them together, didn't you? When you put
a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I don't get is Edard. They give you a full swastika, the swastika in two halves, and then one swastika in like about half a dozen. I'm like, I just do it as a full one, or don't do it at all. I can't see the point myself. I will build mine with swastikas on because I like to build them as they were. And
of course, it's all about the context.
And it just winds me up. I'm just like, just put the swastika in or don't. And I don't get. I understand it. I understand it altogether, but
swastikas as well.
Yeah,
I've got the extra decal set of swastikas. So I went into Hannant's and I came out with a couple of packs of just swastikas. Made me look like a bit of a weirdo, but you've got to make the models look right, in my opinion. It's such an obvious thing that they miss, especially the pre-war stuff with a big red band and a white stripe. It is what it is. We're not saying that they were good. We're not agreeing with them. We're just replicating what it was for our own personal enjoyment.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's funny is because I've got a couple of photos on my Instagram with swastikas on. They're still on there. They've never been picked up, but I wonder if that's potentially because I don't put anything on there. I don't put anything on there saying anything about them. But I don't know if it's because I generally always put like 5 or 6 photos on in a block, and the first one never actually has it on, and I don't know if that's the way I'm getting around it.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not to be honest with you, it's not intentional, because when I photograph, when I put them on, the main focus is the main body of the aircraft, not the tail, because nobody gives a crap about the tail. And that's all my photos generally, if you look at them, you will find most of them will be done like that. But I don't know if that's why I haven't been picked up. The one time I do blur it out, if it's going to be in the photo, is the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Which I have done on one. But that's the only time I tend to do it, because I know they'll pick it up. But I don't do it.
The only time I really tend to blur them is if I'm going to post them on iModeler.
Yeah.
And that's because they're fannies on iModeler mostly. So.
But it's a strange one, because
I was doing the Mustang.
Cool. Carry on, Sam.
Sorry, I was saying I was doing the Mustang Hobby Boss Mustang kit. It was my last video build that I did, and there was a guy on iModeler who was intent on the fact that I would never make a good build out of the Hobby Boss Mustang kit, because it's a Hobby Boss Mustang kit, and it's just good. I thought it turned out amazingly. I'll pop it down and you can have a look at it and judge for yourself whether it's a bad kit or not. But I think it turned out really, really well, and that there's not actually much wrong with the kit, to be honest. But he was intent on the fact that nobody was ever going to be able to make a decent kit out of it, because it's the Hobby Boss Mustang and it's not very good. So, I mean that's where you got to be extra specially careful, I suppose.
That is bloody lovely.
Just looking above on the top, it does look a bit shit, to be honest. You haven't done a very good paint job on it. I'm joking. Who's iModeler anyway? Who's he to judge you?
I mean, iModeler is it's like a blog site, really.
Yeah.
Where you just post your builds and stuff. There's no doubt people who are in tonight who are on there.
Yeah.
I know the guys who frequent my live streams are over from iModeler, and most of them are very supportive. It's just this one chap who seemed to take offence to that Hobby Boss kit, in fairness.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what his problem was, but it doesn't, it's an easy kit. It took, an hour to put together, and then, maybe 20 odd hours finishing it off. But
I've got a few.
I honestly don't understand what his problem is. So.
Hobby Boss aren't bad. Like, the end result looks fine as long as you don't look too closely at it. They're all right.
I've got done one, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a couple of their Wildcats, and I mean they're okay. I've got their Heinkel Salamander, and because it's so dense, it's just solid plastic. It's never going to sit on its nose. I poured lead into the nose, and it's now unbearably heavy. But they look okay. They're a good starting place. A good alternative to an Airfix starter set, for example.
I think you've got to go within your budget as well.
Yeah, they're like £11 kits, and there's probably 20-30 parts in them, and they're quick and easy. And if you just want a bit of fun, and that's all you're after, you don't want to do a build that's going to take 3.5 years to complete. 15 in some cases.
Can we arrange
a good Sunday afternoon fun,
a timed Hobby Boss challenge?
Yeah. Build a Hobby Boss kit.
I did the Thunder Jug as well. That was a great build. So.
I think that is a genuinely good group build idea. A Hobby Boss kit, 24 hours. How far can you get?
How far can you get with a Hobby Boss kit in 24 hours? Okay. We'll be there with our hair dryers out and everything drying. Yeah.
It's got to be on stream, so nobody cheats.
Probably finish it in that.
I would just
the most work is that and
you're cutting out.
It's not, but
oh god, I thought that was just me.
No,
it's my internet crap.
I was just saying, that it's most of the work is in the painting and the weathering. It's not the actual building itself. It's the painting and the weathering that takes long. You can do the build in an hour, 2 hours.
The weathering.
Well, depends how complicated you want to make it, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I'm quite a departmental modeler because I like painting a lot of parts, then sticking them together later on.
There's people that buy. There's people that buy ships and then buy 3 photo etch sets for them. These people are masochists.
Do you know what? Right, if you want a quick weather, just get the Flory Models weathering wash, whack it on, and you're done. Simple.
It's good stuff. That is.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a beginner as well.
Yeah.
It's a really good product to use for a beginner. That is.
I've got them here. I've got all 3 of them there. Look, the dark dirt, the brown, and the black. Apparently, it's clay, isn't it? It's a clay-based, water-based
wash. Yeah.
He's teaching us all of his secrets.
I know. That's this has brought me on to last week. This has now.
There you go.
I'm determined Morgan's going to weather a model properly. I haven't forgotten that. I will not forget that until the day we do it.
Yeah, I'll get them weathering. I just enjoy the.
No, I don't. To be fair, I just got on a wind up with you. To be fair.
Yeah. And then what did you do?
Differently. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, that's right.
Because that's the point of it, isn't it? Really.
And that was the funniest thing because you put that plane up, and I said needs a bit more weathering, doesn't it, mate? You went, touche.
I couldn't argue that one.
My uncle's worked in model shops all of his life. He's been making kits all of his life, and do you know what he refers to weathering as? Ruining.
Yeah, ruining.
Yeah.
It's just what he likes.
Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody, you do what you want. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
I'll tell you a little story. It must have been about 12 years ago. I was in a model show,
and at the end,
there was. I was at a model show about 12 years ago. I can't remember which one it was, or was it 14 years ago? I was up in the north, and all you saw was the cockpit nose hanging out of this mud scene. It was like diorama, and all you could see was the tip of the wings, and then the cockpit, and over it was like a mud and grass, all overgrown and everything. And I can't remember what the plane was, but I remember the modeler who did it said the model was that shit that all I did was cut the nose off, the tips of the wings off, and just put it in some soil and just said, there you go, like that. He said the model was that shit. That's what he'd done. That was his diorama, as if it had crashed and got covered with mud and shit and everything. And that's what he'd done. He cut the nose off, the tips of the wings, put them on either side of this mound of earth and said, I think it was a
That's brilliant, that is.
But he said the model was that shit, putting it together, nothing fitted, that all he could rescue from it was the tips of the wings and the nose, and he put it in this. I bet there's somebody watching this who will come back and say, I remember that at Liverpool's way, wasn't it? And I'll say, yeah, it was. And somebody's bound to have seen it because it was a bit of a laugh about it, so.
Hey, Moss, real quick, did you end up buying the Zvezda Shermans?
Say that again, sorry?
Did you end up buying those Zvezda Shermans?
No, I didn't. I'll tell you the reason why. I want to go to my local model shop and buy it. And at the time, when I go back up there, one, I forgot to ask, but secondly, you can't buy Zvezda now, right?
Really?
Basically, because they've banned the import of Zvezda, haven't they? But what I will say is, I know people are saying it's a Russian company, but a lot of these model shops do have the Zvezdas in stock. So don't cut your nose to spite your face. Just buy the Zvezda kits from the model shops because they've had them on the shelf for months.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
Get rid of them. But yeah, I am going to go and get one. But the 135 scale Zvezda in it is the one.
It's super. They're very good kits, honestly.
A lot of the time, model shops have to actually buy the kit. Obviously, it depends on the model shop. Some of them have it on a credit, but a lot of them do actually buy the kit.
Buy the kit, yeah.
Russia have already got the money.
Yeah, they've already got the money. So the money that's tied up in those kits is basically the model shop. So
they're the ones who.
For example,
it wasn't Zvezda that started this.
For example, both my 787 and 67 are from Zvezda, but they all come from I think it was Lithuania or Latvia. I don't remember, but they're not from Russia. I made sure of it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's
but try.
the thing that's sad is that the Zvezda kits
I remember
are
Stan
fucking
Rudolph
awesome.
saying the same things. He's done Latvia.
They are amazing kits. Plastic is fantastic.
Well, they reckon the plastic's the same as on par with Tamiya, isn't it? Is that right?
Oh, it's a bit softer, but I actually wagered that Zvezda plastic is better.
Yeah.
Who managed to get back on Tamiya?
Yeah.
It's better than Tamiya, yeah. Because it's much. I like softer plastic because it sends much fast. It's much easier.
Yeah. I was just going to say on the chat, they're talking about it. Jeff's just said he has a point to an extent. Weathering done wrong is horrendous. And I kind of get that. Because also, when something's over-weathered, you know they made a fuck-up somewhere and they're trying to hide it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I use it. Most of the time, I use it to hide mistakes.
In the world,
that, I will.
Yeah, same.
In the world of model railways, there is something that really annoys me. Weathering something in the 1950s, or to represent the 1950s, when everything was grubby and horrible, that's fine. But people take a model from, say, the 1880s, when they employed full-time cleaners to prevent things from getting that dirty, and they weather them like they've just been used for a century. It's not right. I've never seen a picture of anything that dirty from that period.
Well, that's the thing is, well, you need to, if you're going to do it, and I do this, I spend just as much time, if not more, researching than I do building. I will find photos of weathered aircraft or whatever, tanks or whatever, and if I can't find what I've got what to do, if I can't find a photo of it, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just go with artistic license, you know what I mean? But I want to do it if it's right.
I mean,
that's my.
That's the advantage of building armor is that armor you have all the choice you want.
Everything was dirty all the time.
Everything can be dirty. Everything can be clean. You can have everything. You want to slap mud on your Sherman? Feel free, man.
That's it, because it will be there.
Especially if I just
It's all like you, mate. Anyways, it's been 2 hours, gentlemen.
Ooh.
We've had a really good time. I've basically just Humbro cleared my glass for this car tonight. That's all I've done on my car.
I literally built like 3 pieces of a figure. Don't feel bad.
I've realised why I kept this on a shelf untouched for so long.
But so basically, we're all going to buy that new F-35A from Tamiya then.
Yes, when I have the money.
When I have the money.
Not all.
How much is it retail at? Do we know? I haven't seen.
I don't really like Fat Amy, so.
£79, but Jadlam pre-ordering it. Pre-order from Jadlam is 76 quid at the moment, so you're knocking 3 quid off.
I'll wait a couple of years for the price to come down.
But the price of the Italeri version was around £75, so it's not that much difference to the Italeri one, and that's now jumped in price because of this happened down to about 50 quid. So you can buy the Italeri one for about 50 quid now, I believe, because this one's now been announced. They just dropped the price on it. So
do you want to know how many Spitfires that is?
Oh, don't.
Yeah, that's 8 Spitfires, isn't it?
At least 3.
Too many.
Yeah, way too many. One's too many.
Yeah, we're just going to now decide what a price of a kit is a Spitfire, isn't it? That's right. So, it's so you can buy 7.5 Spitfires for that for £9.99.
It's the metric.
Or it's 16 of the Audi Spitfire Mark 1 starter set, so you can get for £4.99 at Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many mythical unreleased Airfix Bearcats is it?
3. We've got to get that. Joe, I've got to be there. Like, you know, I'll even walk to Margate to pick mine up personally from Airfix if they do a Bearcat.
Oh no, I was going to say, do they do one?
No.
No, Sword have done the most recent tooling for it.
And that was back in the 1990s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's still 22 years, but there's definitely a market for the Bearcat.
Bearcat,
what, I'm thinking of the Wildcats. Alright, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the only one that's underproduced is the Bearcat, and I don't know why.
I never liked the Bearcat.
Why is he here? Come on, let's kick him.
Yeah,
Hellcat, the Hellcat for the win.
Okay,
the Hellcat for the win. So between Wildcat and Hellcat, you're a Hellcat man,
bro. Like, just look. My first Edward kit was a Hellcat.
It's a beautiful plane.
That sounds like a Hobby Boss one to me.
I mean, it's a Hellcat, man.
Is that a Hobby Boss one? Is it?
No, that's Airfix. And we're in partnership with Tamiya and Revell and Italeri and Frog.
Yeah,
I think.
A partridge in
an
the
Edward kit. Superb kit.
The Adobe one's really good. Good one from a customer.
Tubodi Goja said Airfix are taunting you mods with the Tiger Cat. Yeah, tell me about it. But didn't they have some really good footage of that Bearcat though on Twitter the other week? Airfix had some really good footage of the Bearcat in flight.
I just want Airfix to release a CF100. I want a company to make a CF100.
Oh yeah, I put a bid on that. BAE 146. The
RG85.
You actually put a bid on this?
Yeah, 40 quid. I put a bid on for that one.
Oh.
Do you know what, the Flyby version is £70. The Flyby version of that kit is £70.
That's for an old Revell kit, man.
Yeah.
At the start of lockdown, I can't remember who it was it a Swedish company went bust, and all of their old RG85s ended up at Norwich Airport. So I went for a walk during lockdown once every week, and there was just a dozen RG85s right next to the road, and I was in heaven.
Yeah.
Actually, two of them are RG100s, but the rest were RG85s.
I remember I was in Berlin, and I was coming back to Paris, and there was an EasyJet RG85, which was so hot. Such a sexy aircraft. Just look how overkill it is. 4 jet engines for regional aircraft.
I know that. Yeah. That's why they can't afford
400 does the same thing.
Does Avro still build planes?
I don't think
all part of BAE, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the old companies all got bought up, didn't they?
Yeah.
No,
they all merged into BAE.
Oh no, they stopped in '63.
Yeah, BAE. It's all BAE, as far as the eye can see.
God,
I can't even the TSR wants to fucking fly over, could they, bastards? Anyway, lads, it's been 2 hours. Thanks all for joining us. All those in the chat, thank you very much for joining us in the chat as well. We've been reading your comments and commenting on when we see them and everything. But appreciate your time, lads, for joining me on the Airfix and Chill.
Thank you.
More than welcome.
Again, remember, folks, if you can go to their channels and subscribe to them and watch their content, it's all about helping them out as well. These chats. It has been emotional. I'm still worried about the Tiger Cat outpacing the Bearcat now. And we'll go off now and get ourselves up. And then we'll go off. We're going to go off now and buy ourselves a Hobby Boss kit. All right, Jed. Thanks all in the chat, and we'll see you next Monday. Cheers, all. Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. Bye.